How will you handle your next coach fit call and make it successful? In this video, I'll share with you a few ideas that have worked for me. The coach fit call is a necessary part of the process of selling yourself as a coach. The way it happens is that a client decides that they want to work with a coach, but they're not sure who will be the best coach for them. Therefore, they want to interview 2 or even 3 coaches to determine which one is going to be just right. It's not a coach's favorite part of the process of selling coaching because we're actually competing against other coaches, usually whom we'll never meet. So it's competing against an unknown entity, which always brings a little bit of dread. However, it's a natural part of the process, and it makes sense why a client would like to meet with multiple coaches. So just embrace it for what it is and do your best. Let me walk you through the 2 types of clients that I have encountered the most in coach fit calls and how I handle them both. Hopefully, by following my advice here, you will create your own process for how to handle certain clients in coach fit calls, and you'll be more successful. The first type of prospective client is what I like to call the technically minded client. They are very interested in knowing the answers to a barrage of questions. Questions such as, how long have you been coaching? Are you credentialed? Do you work with clients like me often? Do you have experience in my industry or in my role? What is your process? How long will it take? What can I expect? Do you use assessments? How do you determine if I'm the right client for you? And more. They will ask you question after question after question to understand all the mechanics and details around coaching. They may spend just a little bit of time talking about what they might like to be coached on. They think it's more important to understand all the mechanics to decide if you're the right coach for them. Don't be afraid of this type of conversation. Be prepared to answer all of the questions that I have just shared with you. If you are, you will usually establish good rapport with this type of client, and you have a good shot at winning the engagement. What they're looking for is confidence, experience, and a personality match. Someone who is oriented towards following a process and structure, right? They want that in the coaching relationship. They'll also want to know, how will you measure the effectiveness of your coaching? Do you have references that I could talk to? Just be ready for the technical client and you'll do fine. The second type of client that I've encountered in coach fit calls, they're not that interested in all of the mechanics and the details. They figure you're the coach, you know how to do your coaching thing. You understand process and structure, and you're going to walk me through all that. So I'm not worried about that. I'm already meeting with you because I see that you have expertise as a coach. I want to understand more how you might coach me to help me with my challenges. And that's what they want to talk about in the coach fit call. They want to share with you all of the things that are on their mind and their heart about why they might need coaching. And then you could even launch into a bit of coaching right there on the coach fit call. You can ask them, what is the most pressing problem that you have right now that you'd like to work on? What are some ideas that you have for actions that you might take? What's one step that you could take right away to do something about this? I can tell that it's weighing on you. Just by going through that mini coaching session with just a few questions that simulate a full coaching session, they'll get a sense of what it's like to be coached by you. Your style, your manner, your pacing, your listening, your ability to reflect, pause, and allow them to contemplate and consider the moment. That I've found is very effective when you run into that type of client, to allow them to talk and talk and talk about the challenges they're facing and do a little bit of mini coaching right then and there. And usually what happens is they feel like, wow, this is what it's like to work with you. And they usually get a good impression because they want coaching. They want to experience coaching. And they may follow up with some technical questions about how long it might take, or have you worked with other clients like me in this situation? So be prepared to answer a few questions, but not nearly as many as with the technical client. How long do coach fit calls take? Typically, they last about 30 minutes. And the structure would be, with the technical client, you'd talk for 20, 25 minutes or so, and then you would talk about some next steps that they would take to determine if you're the right coach for them and when you might be ready to begin a new engagement. And the other one, you might talk about their challenges for about 15 minutes or so. You may coach them for about 5 minutes, and then you may spend the remainder of the session talking about how you might actually start and what the engagement might look like, answering a few technical questions. There are cases where the second client, the one who wants to talk about their challenges, may end up going on for some time, and you may actually take more than 30 minutes. I recommend that you never schedule sessions back to back with a coach fit call, because if the call is going well and needs more time, you don't want to cut it off. You want to allow it to breathe so that they can fully appreciate your style and your manner without being rushed, and be able to perhaps make a decision right there. Sometimes they'll say, I feel like you're the right coach for me. Most of the time, they're going to say, I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I'm going to meet with some other coaches, or I still have some thinking to do about this, and I'll get back to you. So there you have it. This is the way that I handle my coach fit calls. If you have questions about my process, or questions that might help you to further tailor your process, post them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. You can also email me your questions at michael@bayareaexecutivecoach.com. If you'd like to learn more about my coach training and certification programs, please visit the website bayareaexecutivecoachtraining.com. And of course, I hope that you will like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel, because I do provide new videos regularly to help you improve as an executive and leadership coach. Thank you very much.